Well, the Mary Rose Trust has embarked on a public appeal, the Mary Rose 500 appeal, to raise money for a new museum for the Mary Rose. Mary Rose is 500 years old at the moment, and this is the time to have the campaign to build a new museum and complete the conservation. Without this, the Mary Rose would not be saved, and that's the whole point of having a public appeal.
Well, the objectives of the campaign with the Mary Rose Trust was to put the Mary Rose back in the media spotlight. At the moment there are 19,000 beautiful artefacts that tell this fantastic story of Tudor times, and currently there's only space to display 6% of these, and they're being kept 300 metres away from the actual boat itself. So what we need to do is raise this money so the ship can be reunited with our artefacts. To implement the campaign, we created a news hook. We invited a very broad range of broadcast and print media to actually come down to the Mary Rose and see some fantastic unseen artefacts, things that had been hidden in the reserve collection. We talked about some facial reconstruction technology that had been used to transform a skull of one of the crew members. And by getting them excited beforehand, we told them that there was some news coming up that we'd like to let them know in the near future. And we got fantastic coverage just from the teaser itself. But I'm very proud of the coverage that we achieved, ranging from ITV News Meridian to BBC Radio 4 Today programme. We even had a mention on the Paul O'Grady show for some of the unseen artefacts. But I think that some of the coverage that I'm most proud of is the print coverage. We had a double-page spread in the Mirror with a beautifully titled article, The Old Curiosity Ship, which was very nice. And also we had a whole page in the Times.
Well, in terms of measuring the success, obviously we were measuring the hits on our websites, but other websites like the BBC websites and other television channels and so on. And I think what was stunning was that the speed at which it spread around the world, and that we were getting newspaper reports in the west coast of Canada to out into Hong Kong, I think, Singapore, into Australia most certainly. So it's really spread very fast. And we got a lot of feedback, and I mean the countless hundreds, if not thousands, of articles and so on that were written across the world have been very impressive. So we've monitored all that through Bell Pottinger.
We can measure the success of the campaign in various ways. The actual coverage that we delivered, there were over 150 pieces of coverage, 30 of those were broadcast. The website itself had a 50% increase in hits on the day of the launch and continual increase in hits after the launch. The donations speak for themselves. We had a donation from a woman in Scotland who called in to donate £20, and off the back of the BBC Radio 4 Today interview with John Lippiatt, we had another organisation phone up and say, we want you to apply for some funding from us, and that resulted in a £250,000 donation. So that in itself was a fantastic result to have achieved. The client feedback on the project was fantastic. They were very pleased with the awareness that we'd created. We'd managed to put her back, the Mary Rose, back in the media spotlight after all this time. They actually said they hadn't seen such media excitement generated since the Mary Rose was raised out of the water in 1982, which was very nice to hear.
The piece of coverage I'm most proud of is probably the Today programme on the day of the launch. We were getting massive coverage right across all sorts of channels and outlets. But I have to say the Today programme, reaching the sort of people that I think really could support us, was the most important and was very lively. It worked very well, and indeed it got us the best results of that day of launch.
Bell Pottinger are really excited to keep working with the Mary Rose Trust right through until 2012, when we can see the opening of the new museum, which in itself will be incredibly exciting. We plan up until that point to make sure that the Mary Rose maintains a very prominent position in the media and the public spotlight, to make sure that she takes her rightful position in British heritage.
Well, the future is very bright indeed for us, because we are going to build this new museum. We will open it in 2012. In time for the Olympics, and then the world will be able to come and see it. It's going to be a national sensation, one of the most important to be built in this country in this century, but also of great international acclaim. Well, for interested parties right across the board to join our website, which is maryrose500.org, or the Mary Rose website itself, just straight maryrose.org, and there you will read so much about it. Or ring us up, or come and see us. I would love to hear from you.